I know, I know. I'm pretty late in the game to make a video like this. However, there wasn't a due date on it, so I can take as much time as I want. Anyways, I looked at the Lessons Animation Taught Us playlist that Movies with Mikey made, and was sad to see only a couple of anime mentioned on the list, mostly Studio Ghibli films and Akira, but there is a hidden gem among the plethora of anime that Japan has produced. A diamond in the rough, I would call it. It stood alongside shonen behemoths like One Piece, Bleach, and Naruto, and managed to make fun of all three of these crazy big titles. The anime is called Gintama, and it taught me how to forgive. No, I did not sneeze. Gintama is a real manga/anime that was created by Hideaki Sorachi. Gintama was first published in Weekly Shonen Jump on December 8th of 2003 and was supposed to finish on September 15th, 2018. However, Sorachi decided that he couldn't keep up his schedule of releasing a chapter every week and switched his publication to Jump Giga. Jump Giga started publishing the continuation of the series on December 28, 2018, but the publication hopscotch wasn't finished yet. On February 22nd of 2019, it was announced the series would yet again change platforms and finish its publication on a free online Gintama app. It started publication on the app on May 13th of 2019, and then the series finally ended publication on the app on June 20th, 2019. Well, if that isn't a publication nightmare, I don't know what is. Gintama, translated to Silver Soul or Silver Balls, is a series about a silver-haired samurai living in Edo period Japan that was taken over by aliens. Shinpachi explains it best.
侍の国、僕らの国がそう呼ばれたのは今は昔の話。かつて侍たちが仰ぎ、夢を馳せた青い空には異教の船が飛び交い、かつて侍たちが肩で風を切り歩いた街には今は偉人がふんぞり返り歩く。それが僕らの世界。それが僕らの街。
In his wacky adventures, Gintoki befriends an aspiring 16-year-old samurai from a failing dojo and a gluttonous 14-year-old alien girl who wants to explore the Earth. Along the way, they fight terrorists, aliens, play Super Mario Bros., try to do a training arc, and collect the sticky Dragon Balls. That's just to name a few of the crazy things that they do. According to Wikipedia, Sorachi defines Gintama as a science fiction human drama pseudo-historical comedy. Well, that's a mouthful. So, how did this science fiction human drama pseudo-historical comedy run-on sentence teach me how to forgive? For those of you who don't know anything about this series, I highly recommend you watch it before watching this video. It will make you feel so many things. Just go watch it. I will now be going into highly spoilery territory. You have been warned. Now that those people are gone, let's get into this. Let's just get this out of the way. I watched Gintama 5 years before I even heard JoJo's Bizarre Adventure even existed. Yeah, I know. So get those Dio versus Joseph comments out of my face. For me, Tomokazu Sugita and Takehito Koyasu will always be Gintoki and Dio. What? You thought I was gonna say Takasugi? Dude, when Dio is in the credits, his entire name is capitalized. Dio is a frickin' legend. Nuxtaku, one of the best anime YouTubers out there, made a video called The Best Anime Moments of the Decade. One of those moments that were high on the list was the anime Gintama's rendition of the legendary fight of Takasugi Shinsuke versus Sakata Gintoki. The two enemies used to be allies on the battlefield, but a singular broken promise killed that friendship. Gintoki made two very important promises in his life. One to Yoshida Shoyo, his teacher and father figure, and the other to his closest friend since childhood, Takasugi Shinsuke. Shoyo asked him to keep everyone at the Shoka Sonjuku, the school he created, safe after his imprisonment. After Shoyo's students decided the Joy Rebels to save their master, Takasugi asks Gintoki to take care of their sensei if he dies. Two promises that oppose each other, two promises that he must keep. But when he was tested, when Gintoki was at the end of his rope, when he had to choose between his two best friends and their sensei, his father, what did he choose?
ありがとう。
He kept Shoyo's promise with no hesitation, killing his sensei to protect his friends, to protect the promise he made to his sensei. But Takasugi doesn't see it that way. He sees Gintoki, his longtime rival, his best friend, a man he would risk his life for, kill the man that raised him, raised them. At that moment, all Takasugi saw was Gintoki breaking his promise. And when he goes to confront him and gets slashed in the eye for his defiance, the last thing he sees with that left eye is Gintoki. And he's crying. Because this series is a science fiction human drama pseudo-historical comedy run-on sentence with no commas, we see a lot of genres intertwined into the fabric of the show. Ergo, the amount of emotions we see the characters display is as diverse as the description of the show. We see them laugh, cry, menace, make fun, hurt, torment. We see their fears, their anxieties, their hopes, their aspirations. We know their goals, the enemies that get in the way of their goals, and the friends that help them reach that goal. And Gintoki is no exception. As the main character of the series, he probably shows the most emotion out of the entire cast of quirky characters. Despite his larger-than-life persona, we have seen him beg, we have seen him threaten. We saw Gintoki at his scariest and at his most vulnerable. We have seen him at his strongest points and at his weakest. But I don't think Gintoki has ever shed a tear of sadness over the series. Gintoki has been this unwavering hurricane of determination. Even if he made a mistake, he would make up for it, or at least try to make up for it, and fight for his ideals like there is no tomorrow. Personally, for me, I always feared for Gintoki when he fought. I've never seen an offensive style like this in fiction. Everyone fears being hit, cut, or punched, but Gintoki doesn't seem to exhibit that kind of fear. He charges headfirst into the fight with no thought of injury or consequence, just the goal of winning. And he fights most of his fights using a wooden sword. The closest thing I can compare this to is Muhammad Ali's fighting style. He favored fast jabs over defense and used his speed to make up for his lack of defense by dodging the other opponent's hits. Despite the power he has a hard time against Takasugi. This brute force is usually surprising to most of his enemies, and they have to adapt to his fighting style, but because Takasugi has fought him multiple times, he knows what's coming. Takasugi tries to use his technique to defeat him, but it's only a matter of time before Gintoki punches him in the face with the force of a bulldozer. The fight is now in Gintoki's corner, as Takasugi needs to use brute force to try and get his sword back. The one advantage he has against Gintoki, Takasugi punches Gintoki's gut, right where he cut him before this sword fight turned into a brawl. Takasugi takes back his sword, but to no avail. Gintoki just breaks his sword when their blades connect. Gintoki broke a sword with a wooden stick! Now it's just a brawl, and since this is Gintoki's forte, he is easily overcoming his opponent. However, Takasugi isn't going to make it easy for his rival and fights back. The two land a final blow that sends them both flying. While I just described how the fight went, it is why this fight is happening that is a lot more interesting to me. And the fight itself shows us why these two are at odds. Well, not the fight itself, but certain flashbacks that are shown during the fight. I talked about Takasugi's thinking a little bit before, but now I want to go into more detail, specifically what Takasugi went through after the event. After they buried their teacher, all three Joy rebels went their separate ways, having no reason to fight this war anymore, while Gintoki and Katsura move on from the event, not blaming themselves or their friends. Takasugi laments the event. Why did Gintoki come to the summit? Why did he choose us over the safety of their sensei? Why wasn't Gintoki angry at what the world did to him? Why didn't he want to strike a blade into the hearts of the man that did this to him? Over and over, Takasugi asks himself these questions, getting angrier and angrier. Angry that the world took his sensei from him, angry that they made his friend do it, angry that said friend wasn't as angry at the world as he was. This stupid world, if only it didn't exist, if only he could destroy it. And that's why we as the audience finally understand why Takasugi wants to burn everything, why he wants to destroy. This world took everything he held dear from him. Why wouldn't someone want to destroy the world after that? Why wouldn't you? Why would you forgive a world that kills your sensei for teaching lost kids how to find their own way? You forgive a world for killing your teacher because you meet new people that make you want to live. You meet a struggling 16-year-old samurai who wants to understand the way of the sword, but also runs a fan club for one of his favorite idols. You meet a 14-year-old alien glutton who eats all your food, but at the same time wants to repair the relationship between her father and brother. You meet the vice captain of the police force who has an addiction to mayonnaise and smoking and will stop at nothing to make your city a better place. You meet a girl who can't cook eggs, a ninja with medical issues, a gorilla police captain, a ninja who is obsessed with you, an elderly widow willing to give you a home, a boy who just wants to see his mother, a literal cat thief, a sadistic first officer, a duck, a robot who wants to understand humanity, a dumb prince, a homeless gambler, the shogun, a crazy mechanic, a woman who can't touch men, and a woman who wants to protect the woman in her care. The rest of the show is the answer to Takasugi's question. The rest of the show is a science fiction human drama pseudo-historical comedy run-on sentence with no comma, and I'm running out of breath. The characters literally just enjoy life in every episode. Whenever a life-threatening arc occurs, the characters fight to return to that crazy normal that they are used to. And Takasugi, despite not realizing it, does the same thing as Gintoki. He befriends new people that give him a new purpose in life, even if that purpose is to destroy the world. What brings Takasugi back from death is a tear from his friend, not his hatred for the world. For the longest time, Takasugi blamed himself for what happened. But it was in this instance, this fight with Gintoki, that not only led him to forgiving him, but also forgiving himself. And through forgiving himself, he finally learned what his master taught him. To live life with people that you care about. To live life and find your own samurai way. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been a long time coming. Now that Gintama the movie has come out in Japan, and now that I have to wait until October to watch it, came out in January, I decided that I wanted to make a sort of commemorative video about this series that I have been following since 2012, 2013. Anyways, I wrote the script in like maybe one day. I was just so filled with emotion and sadness because the series is finally ending, and I just wanted to show my appreciation to Sorachi and to the team that has made the anime since 2005, 2006, I don't even know. This show has truly changed my life. That's why I put it in a lessons animation taught me video, because it's taught me so much, and forgiveness is just one of those things that has taught me. Maybe in the future I'll do more Gintama analysis videos, but for now, this is me saying goodbye to the Gintama universe. See you guys later. Oh yeah, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye!